Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Christina, Caregiver Edition. And my name is Christina, as the title suggests, and I do work at the Home Instead office in Riverside. And if I haven't gotten a chance to meet you yet, it's probably because I typically do the marketing in the office, so I'm out and about sharing about what Home Instead does with our community. And so part of what we wanted to do with these cooking tutorials is we wanted to just bring some fun, different recipes, tips, tricks your way to be able to better equip you or even give you creative ideas to be able to use with your clients. And so I hope that this is a help to you. These are things that you might already know how to do on your own, but we're going to be going over some basics as well as just throwing in there some fun, creative ways to mix things up. So that way you can be feeding your clients nutritious and delicious meals if they ask for them. And I'm super excited to be able to do these classes. I used to do a class just like this called Cooking with Christina, actually with seniors on Zoom during the pandemic for most of last year. And so it's been fun to be able to transition into this and help with the cooking tutorials. And so I hope you guys find this helpful. This is really, like I said, just meant to be able to be a help to you guys. And I know that a lot of the, clients do request food every once in a while, and sometimes it's like, what do I make them? What do they have? How can I be creative? What do they like to eat? What's good to eat? So we're going to talk about a couple options today. And today we're going to be talking about all things lunch, which is a really important one because a lot of your guys' shifts are actually during the middle of the day. A lot of times clients do want someone to be able to prepare lunch for them. That's one of the meals that typically seniors will eat more often. They'll eat a bigger lunch than they will even a dinner or a breakfast. And so this is all things lunch. So we're going to be preparing 2 salads as well as 2 sandwiches. So we are going to be making those in this class time that we have today. Some of the things I've already prepared ahead of time, such as one of the dressings, and I've chopped everything just to save us some time. But you can find the recipes and all the ingredients and measurements for all these on the recipe cards that we are going to send out as well. And so this is just going to be a demonstration of how to put them together. The first one that we're going to be making, so I'll start with the salads. So we are doing 2 salads, like I said, and I thought, why not choose a sweet option as well as a more savory option? So the sweet option that we're choosing is going to be a blueberry spinach salad. So we are going to be making that one on a bed of spinach, which is so healthy and nutritious for seniors and just people in general. It's considered a superfood. And so as much spinach as you can add to their diet, the better, because it's so good and it's so nutritious for all of us to eat. So we're going to be doing that blueberry spinach salad, and that has a balsamic dressing with it. And then we're also going to be making a very simple but delicious Greek salad. So I'm going to show you what to add in the Greek salad. These are things that they might even have on hand already. We're going to get to that in just a moment. And that is on a bed of romaine lettuce. And then as far as our sandwiches today, we are going to be super, super basic. And we're going back to, I was going to say elementary times when my mom used to make me a grilled cheese. We're making grilled cheese. So we're going to do grilled cheese sandwiches. And we're also going to do a turkey BLT. Things that are common for seniors to request or ask for that maybe you're unfamiliar actually with what the best way to make both of those are. And so again, you might know all these things. These might not be new for you to, be learning, but I hope that this provides even just some inspiration for you as you cook for your clients. And I am not a professional chef, but I do enjoy cooking, and I love being able to help teach people how to be able to cook with some fresh, yummy ingredients. So let's go ahead and get started. We really won't be touching the stove until our grilled cheese, which is going to be at the end. So most of what I'm going to be doing is going to be, just right here. I know my camera is a little bit high. I'm going to bend it down just so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go over all the ingredients that we have for our dishes as we go. Now you see this plate right here. I'm just going to go ahead and put that off to the side as well as this one because it's not time quite yet. Alrighty, so for our blueberry spinach salad, this one is super nutritious for seniors. Blueberries are full of antioxidants, vitamins, minerals. Don't take my word for that. They're full of vitamins, they're full of antioxidants, They're really, really good for you. They help fight off disease, help with inflammation. They're just really, really nutritious. So anytime you can get blueberries and spinach in the same meal, even better. So what we're gonna do is I've just already put it in a nice bowl. This is like a little salad pasta bowl kind of thing. So we're gonna just start with a bed of spinach like so. I'm gonna bend it down just a little further so you can see me. So we're gonna start with a bed of spinach, and then we're just going to add our ingredients on top. This is so easy. I hope this just gives you some inspiration of what you could do with your clients. We're gonna add a good handful of blueberries. I'm not measuring them for the sake of today because this salad is a little bit smaller than the one that we are sending out on the recipe card. So I'm just gonna take a nice handful of blueberries. So this is our main star of our salad. So you kind of want to be generous with our blueberries. So this is a perfect meal to make if you want to get some extra nutrients. It's also delicious, so they'll really enjoy it. All right, let's just have to throw out a little stem. Okay, so we've got our blueberries, super simple. We're also going to be using some chopped up pecans. Now, if they don't like pecans, you can use walnuts, you can use almonds even. The pecans and the walnuts tend to be the best texture-wise and flavor-wise. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, like I said, this is very simple. I'm just gonna sprinkle it over the salad like so. As much as really you think they would want, but just a good amount, just like that. I always like to have a little bit of everything in every bite. So we just sprinkle the pecans over like that. And then we're going to add actually some dried cranberries. Again, things that you might have on hand at home. So we're just gonna add some dried cranberries. We don't need too many because we have so many wonderful blueberries, but this actually adds like a nice tang to the salad. So we're gonna add some dried cranberries, looking nice already. And then we're going to be putting on top some feta cheese. Now you guys might be familiar with feta, you might not be as familiar with feta. Feta is a really low fat cheese. It's actually one of the better cheeses for you. We'll go into this when we make our Greek salad, but the Mediterranean diet is said to be one of the best for you because of the low fat cheeses, the high good fat oils like olive oil and everything. So we're just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some of this. I'm telling you guys, if you can make, or if I can make this, you can too. It's super easy. So see, that looks so nice. Even the presentation will make your seniors' day. Just being able to present to them a nicely, freshly made salad. And we're gonna go ahead and we sprinkle the feta, and then we're going to just top this with a balsamic vinaigrette. So I've actually put it in a little guide, little Tupperware, because I want to shake it. The real one is in the fridge, and we're gonna just top this over the top. I'm gonna wait till the end to do that. That way it doesn't get all soggy. But we've got our basic blueberry spinach salad. Look how nice that looks. It looks so delicious, super nutritious, and the balsamic vinaigrette also makes it just mesh super well together. And so this is one of our salad options that we have. If you're looking for something more savory, you have a client who enjoys more savory foods rather than sweet foods, we do have an option for you as well. So we're gonna grab that bowl of romaine lettuce. Now, romaine isn't as nutritious as dark leafy greens such as spinach or Swiss chard or kale, but it still has some nutritious properties in it. So we're going to start off with a bed of romaine. And what we're gonna do for this one has quite a few ingredients, so hang tight as far as the ingredients is concerned. So we're going to start with some chopped up tomatoes. You're more than welcome to use, we've used Roma tomatoes, so you can use some Roma tomatoes. That's what we've used for today. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and add some of the already pre-diced up tomatoes, just over off to the side. I'm gonna make it a certain way for the presentation. You do not have to do this. It actually makes more sense to kind of mix everything together. But for the sake of visuals, I'm going to parcel it out in sections on top of the lettuce. So I'm using my hands also, probably not the best practice for your seniors because that's not sanitary. But I'm gonna do that because I myself am going to consume this after I make it. So we do not need to worry about me using my hands, but probably not best practice. So we've got tomatoes on one side, and then we're going to be going over to cucumber. So I Mr. Cucumber, I guess you could say. So cucumber, I just went ahead and what I did is I diced it in fourths. So I just cut the cucumber like in little slices, and then each slice I cut across, and then I cut across again, which gives me the fourth that I need. May the fourth be with you, if you get that. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these to the top of the salad as well. So let me go ahead and put those next to the tomatoes. Wonderful. Okay, so we've got our lovely tomatoes, which tomatoes in itself are really good for you. They actually are high in vitamin C, other nutrients. They tend to be very healthy and filling as well. And then cucumbers are, an interesting fact about cucumbers is the term cool as a cucumber actually comes from how they help your body temperature. So not the fact that they themselves are cool, because they are mostly water, which is true, but they help your body temperature remain cool. Very interesting. So if you're feeling hot, eat a cucumber. It's actually a good thing for you. So we've got our tomatoes, our cucumbers. We're going to add some red onion. And again, I'm not using exact measurements for the sake of just being able to demonstrate. So the onion, you don't want to add, of course, as much as the cucumbers and tomatoes. Just a little segment over there. The red onion. If you don't prefer onion, you can leave it out. It will still survive. The salad will still be good. But we are going to add onions. We're also going to add some red pepper. So you're more than welcome to add red pepper. You can add yellow pepper, green pepper, really any pepper and any bell pepper that you'd like to. You're more than welcome to add. We're going to go ahead and go with the red pepper, and I've already cut it up. You're dicing everything for this recipe, so cut it up already. Look how beautiful and colorful that looks. So yummy. And then personally, one of my favorite parts is the Kalamata olives. So I'm going to add those as well, and I realize there's some brine coming out with those olives. So let me go ahead and actually just use my fork, and I'm going to add the olives as the last ingredient to go on top. And then I'm going to show you the dressing. Greek, like I said, Greek food, Mediterranean food, it's said to be the healthiest diet for you. They use a lot of high healthy fat, low unhealthy fat foods, a lot of vegetables, not a lot of meats. They do, of course, eat meat, but not a lot of excess meats and not a lot of things that cause inflammation, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fresh foods. And so Greek salad is always a good option for your senior client if they are able to eat chunks like this. Not everyone, of course, is able to still consume little, chunks of food like this, but it's a great option if they are. And I just want to show you that this is our almost finished salad. So this is parceled off, like I said, with the ingredients on top. There's romaine underneath. Normally I would just sprinkle it over just like I did with the blueberry salad and intermix it all. But for the sake of just showing you, I wanted to show that we have all the ingredients just nicely on top of the lettuce. And for this one, I'm going to put this off to the side over here. For that salad, I'm particularly excited because we made our own homemade dressing for it. So simple to make. I believe you probably would find all of these ingredients, maybe minus a few, at the home of your client as well. And so I'm gonna just show it to you, and again, I'm gonna dress it at the end. So this is our homemade dressing that I have whipped together for the Greek salad. And inside this dressing is olive oil. There's a little bit of fresh lemon juice, red wine vinegar. There's some dried oregano, as well as garlic, parsley, honey, and a little salt and pepper. And it's super simple, so delicious, really good for them. We're gonna drizzle that over the top of our Greek salad towards the end of our time together. So those are our salad options. Super simple, very straightforward, nothing too fancy or too hard, but just to give some ideas for things that you can make for your clients that way to hopefully bring them some nutrients as well as some tasty foods for lunch. So those are our salads. I'm actually going to put those off to the side. Okay, and let's put the dressing in the back. All right, so we've got our salads already made. I'm not going to dress them like I said. next thing we are going to do, I just grabbed a big thing of mayonnaise. If you can guess, we are going to make our sandwiches, which I am very excited about both these. They're both very simple, but good ones to be able to know how to make. So we are gonna do the BLT first. So if you saw, I kind of transferred it over this way, but I've got everything needed for the most part on this plate. So for our BLT, it's bacon, lettuce, tomato. We are doing a turkey BLT to add a little extra protein, make it a little heartier. And so that turkey BLT is going to have, we are going to just use our 12 grain bread. So it's always good to use multigrain if you're able to. We're gonna use just a simple 12 grain bread, as well as the tea, so the turkey. We've got some fresh turkey, the bacon, which is already cooked. I'm not going to cook it in front of you guys. If you do have bacon that you need to cook, that is a whole nother, task to be able to do. But we have already cooked bacon ready to go right here. So we got the turkey, bacon, lettuce, a nice piece of romaine lettuce, as well as our nicely sliced up tomatoes. Super simple. Look at all that color. Of course, except for the bacon. The bacon is not super great for you, but everything else is pretty good for you. So in order to make our BLT, which is very simple, this will be nothing that will, be too complicated. What we're going to do is we're going to actually, let me grab a plate real quick, and we're going to assemble the sandwich. Okay, so got our plate ready to go. I'm gonna angle this downward. We are going to start with bread. Shocker there. So I'm gonna grab 2 pieces of bread. And how I think, I like to make this is different than how someone else might like to make it. What we're gonna start with is a little bit of the mayonnaise. If I can find my knife. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the mayonnaise. And I prefer Trader Joe's mayonnaise. I'm a little bit biased because I did used to work at Trader Joe's here in Riverside. But I just happen to really enjoy their mayonnaise. I think it has a really actually sweet flavor to it. So we're gonna just kind of coat both sides. Again, you can be a little bit more generous or less generous as much as they prefer. If you wanna put mustard on here, put mustard on here. It's totally flexible up to your client's preference. There's nothing fancy about this sandwich, but it is tasty and a lot of seniors really enjoy it. So we're just gonna go ahead and put our mayonnaise on our bread. We've got our turkey. I'm gonna go ahead and put the turkey down on one side. And you cannot really see that well. There we go, that's a little bit better. Okay, so we've got the turkey right here. And then I'm going to add the, let's see, we're gonna add actually the lettuce. We're gonna smush the lettuce in between, this is a huge piece of lettuce, it's almost like a fan. We're gonna actually just kind of smush the lettuce in, and then I'm going to add the tomatoes on top of that. So let's go ahead and add our tomatoes. How many ever tomatoes you think they would like? I'm just gonna add 3. Again, this is a very simple recipe. And I probably just need 2 pieces of bacon. I wasn't sure how many. So we're just gonna use 2 pieces of bacon like that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put that slice of bread over. And I'm going to cut it up. Now you can cut it sideways. I'm gonna do a triangular cut for this one. You can season it with a little salt and pepper if you think they would like that. This is something really simple that you can make for them that has a lot of the different categories of food they might like. If they're able to eat a BLT, this is something that would be really easy to whip up for one of your clients. So nothing fancy here. Oh, I lost a tomato. Oh no. Nothing fancy here with your turkey BLT sandwich. So that is just for you guys to have a fun idea of a sandwich that you can make. So that is a really great option for lunch. They probably wouldn't need a salad, but you could always pair a salad with something like this. And then the last thing that we're going to be able to make, or we're going to make today, I'm gonna put this off to the side as well. Look at our bounty of food. We have more food than we know what to do with right now. So our last dish that we're going to be making is going to be our grilled cheese sandwich. Now it might sound simple. It might sound like this is something that you have done a bunch before, which completely understand if it has, or if it is something that you've done before. I am not here to teach anything new about making a grilled cheese, but just to be able to teach those of you guys who may not know how to make a grilled cheese, how to make a grilled cheese today. So we're gonna start by turning on that stove over here. So we're turning on the burner, and we're using a non-stick pan, just a medium size, so not too small, not too big. And what I'm gonna do to start with is I'm going to grab my 2 slices of bread. We're actually using Havarti cheese today. So I know it sounds fancy, but it's really not terribly more fancy than other cheeses. It's just got a great melting property to it. So there's a bunch of different types of cheeses you could use. You could use American if you really like American. You can use provolone even. You could do Swiss if they have Swiss. Havarti tends to melt really, really well. So Havarti's got a great melting property. You could use Monterey Jack, Pepper Jack if they like a little spicy. But for today, we're just using Havarti. So what I'm gonna do for this is I'm going to just go ahead and take a little bit of butter, and I'm going to take 1 slice of my bread, and I'm going to just kind of butter it. Now, my butter is not all the way melted, so it's kind of chunky, and it's kind of making the bread a little chunky. I know you can't see super great, but see how it's not pretty. That's okay. We're just gonna kind of roll that butter on, and we're gonna just smush it all on there. And then we're also going to add a chunk of butter to the actual pan itself. The last thing you want for your grilled cheese is to not be buttery enough. So let's add a chunk of that butter. That's gonna help it get nice and brown. I'm going to go over here because I forgot to do this earlier and grab a spatula. So you'll need a spatula to flip your grilled cheese once it's done. Alrighty, let me go ahead and just smush that butter all around that pan. It's already bubbling, which is great. You probably don't need much more than that. That was probably even a little bit too much, but that's okay. Some of it will evaporate actually as the heat is on. So then we're going to add a little bit of mayonnaise to the middle of this. I know that sounds weird, but the tanginess just works with the grilled cheese. So trust us on this one. We're gonna add just a little bit of mayonnaise. How I am gonna do this is I'm gonna butter 2 sides of the bread, but I'm gonna show you, I'm not putting both sides on quite yet. So let's butter this side. I know with the glare it's kind of hard to see, but we're going to butter this side of the bread. Make sure it's all nice and coated. Now, don't do too much, like you don't need a whole tablespoon per slice, just enough to be coated. And with that first slice, we're going to go ahead and place it butter side down. So, butter side down. And that is gonna be nice and buttery. Okay, so butter side down. What I'm gonna do next is I'm actually gonna add that mayonnaise. We are going to add that, just a very thin layer to the slice that's already in the pan. I actually probably took a little bit too much. Yep, I totally did. We just want a nice thin layer. Okay, and then you're gonna go ahead and put your cheese on. Super basic, again, not showing you anything that is out of the norm. I'm gonna use 3 slices of cheese because why not? Okay, so we've got our 3 slices of cheese. We've got that going on. Then I'm going to take this other slice, flip the side that doesn't have the butter on it up, and I'm going to very lightly, again, a very thin layer of mayonnaise, not really thick. This is very, very thin. Barely there, I guess you could say. Your hands might get a little buttery, and that is okay. I have fond memories of my mom always making grilled cheese when I was growing up, and so I love making these. We're just gonna go ahead and place that over there like so, and look how easy that is to start with. I kind of like to give my grilled cheese a little press down just to make sure it's all getting nicely cooked. You don't want the temperature too high. I want to just make sure that everything's looking okay underneath. And you're gonna just let it cook for a couple minutes on each side. So with the cheese, you want the cheese to start getting nice and melty. Now I'm gonna just take a peek to make sure there's nothing that is, oh yeah, it's looking nice and golden. So We want to make sure it's not burning though. And with too much butter, you have to be extra careful that it's not burning. So I'm gonna go ahead and just keep an eye on that and then just let it sit in there for another moment. It should be totally good. The heat is on probably about medium high. This is something that is super basic that you can make for your clients every day practically. I'm sure they would have cheese, bread, and butter and a little mayonnaise. So I already see the cheese is starting to melt, and I see that the bread is sticking together. So let's flip it over. A perfect goldeny brown color. Again, if I had left it any longer, see this part over here, it's a nice golden. It would have been too golden. It would have burned a little bit. So you want to just go ahead and flip that over. You could use sourdough. I personally love a grilled cheese with sourdough. Not as good for you as the 12-grain bread, which is why we are using the 12-grain bread, but the sourdough is delicious. And don't push on it too much like I'm doing right now because I'll probably smush it, but you want it to get nice and cooked. So I can see the cheese on the side. I can tell that the cheese is nice and melty. I just want to make sure nothing's burning down there. It's probably going to be totally fine. Oh yeah, it looks good. You want it to have a little bit of a crisp on it. I'm going to actually take you over to be able to see our grilled cheese. So see that nice golden crisp on the top. You do want that. You just don't want it to actually burn. So you do want a crisp, but no burn. So we've got our grilled cheese, and then over here, again, we have our other items, including our salads, our wonderful BLT sandwich. You can mix or match any of these. You don't even have to make, one or the other, but just to give you some ideas of something that you could do too. I'm saying that this is probably good enough. Let's see. Oh yeah, so you can tell all the cheese is nice and smushy. I'm gonna leave it for just another second while we wait for the cheese to get extra melty. And I'm going to just wrap up that mayonnaise and wait for the grilled cheese to be done, and then we will be done with our whole lunch spread. And again, these are just ideas, just some reminders or ideas. This is basics. So tutorials on basic cooking things to do for your seniors. And I know that this would bring a lot of joy to them if you were to even just have some new recipes that they might enjoy or some things that they're able to try. And so let's go ahead and actually just cut this right off. Oh yeah, that's perfect on the other side as well. And with our grilled cheese, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna cut it like this, halfway down the middle. And I'm gonna show you, okay, so, oh yeah, nice and gooey. Woo, too hot. Grilled cheese. Let me turn off the burner. Okay, we've got our grilled cheese all ready to go. That was super basic, very simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a walkthrough through all of our recipes. This is lunch. Look at that, didn't even take hardly any time to be able to prepare. So these are all things that you could do as well. We've got our lovely blueberry spinach salad. I'm gonna put that balsamic dressing over the top. Okay, so we've got our blueberry spinach with a balsamic dressing. Wonderful. We've got our Greek salad right here with our homemade Greek dressing, which I will include in that recipe card. We've got that, yummy, yummy. We've got that right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just dress that. It's got that wonderful fresh parsley in the dressing. So we've got that all nice and dressed and ready to go. So we've got that salad. We've also got our already made turkey BLT. And we finished off with a very basic grilled cheese sandwich. So I hope you enjoyed this version of the Cooking with Christina Caregiver Edition tutorials. And I hope that this was something that was helpful for you, or even just, shared some different tips on what you can make for your clients as well. And I hope that you are able to help them and care for them and nourish them with whatever you make for them for lunch in the future. So thank you so much for joining us. You're always more than welcome to call if you have any questions. And I think I'm gonna have to take a bite of this grilled cheese because it looks too good. That's very good. Thank you for joining again. And we'll see you next time. Bye.